Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump lit.
What's up,
Any,
Rashad?
yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Yeah, what's up? My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, all right. So first things first, man, I just wanted to start off with some appreciation and birthday shout outs and everything like that, as you guys see. And the ticker, happy belated to Trey Mills. That's Flajay's brother. He's behind a lot of the stuff that Flajay does, you know, obviously with the team of someone who does multiple things at a high level like Flajay does. You have to have a team around you. And Trey is balancing out a quote unquote regular, more traditional lifestyle of going to college, graduating, even though Flajay is in college. But you know, going to college, graduating, getting a job, but also pursuing his dreams as well on the side of, you know, making his music and his R&B and stuff like that. So I definitely want to say, you know, happy belated to a friend of the channel, Trey Mills. Yes, sir. Hold on, let me pull up Trey real quick. Definitely want to say shout out to Trey Mills and happy belated birthday to him. Also, happy belated birthday to the king of the South, Mr. T.I. himself. Obviously, there is, you know what I'm saying, a kind of a weird thing there, you know what I'm saying, with T.I., obviously, because growing up, for me, it was like, in terms of like the rappers that I feel like really influenced me as a kid were Andre 3000, T.I., and Kanye West. And those are just like my three favorite rappers. And like they kind of really were the three rappers I was following like heavy as a kid and stuff like that. So T.I. just embracing the city as much as he has and being unapologetic about being from the South and being country and stuff like that. I think it really helped with I don't want to say my confidence of being from the South, but yeah, like I just really appreciated T.I. growing up, and you know, to be able to have like T.I.'s everywhere. Like, you know, he's literally like made it a point to make himself the king of the South. Like, you see him all the time. I've interviewed him. You know, I've met him and seen him in person a lot. And I remember one of the last times I seen him was when he came to our office, my old place of work. And he walked in. He said, "What's up?" I was like, "Yo, it's the king!" Like I'm gassing, I'm everything, bro, because it was so cool. Like T.I. came to my job. What the heck? And you know, so I definitely appreciate T.I. and, you know, everything he's doing politically and stuff like that, and speaking up and really rebranding after his entire, you know, going to jail and stuff like that, going to prison and everything when I was about in like 8th grade or something like that. Salute to T.I. However, like I said, there is a thing there. With him entering politics, you're not going to agree with everything someone does or thinks or says politically. You know, he is aligned with Keisha Lance Bottoms, who the former Atlanta mayor, who's now running for Georgia governor. And Keisha Lance Bottoms, when the entire Jimmy Atchison situation happened, tragedy happened in Atlanta, she was on one side of the story, and it wasn't the side that was favorable to Jimmy Hill, Jimmy's father and friend of the channel, of course. And so when, you know, they're calling around to see who could really advocate for them with a large platform and stuff on behalf of Jimmy Atchison's memory and things of that sort of being, you know, unalived by Atlanta Police Department, you know, they reached out to T.I. And T.I., you know, according to Jimmy Hill, he said he heard him on speakerphone, said, "I want nothing to do with that." And that was hurtful to learn and stuff like that, because T.I. does so much positive for the community and he does so much positive for the city of Atlanta, like I said, but that part was hurtful. So I feel like it's a natural when you get involved with politics, there is going to be always something that, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you're going to be 100% with anybody. And if you are, I just feel like you probably just don't know enough about the person and their beliefs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's T.I. Happy belated birthday to T.I. And then second or third, Will Smith. Happy belated birthday to Will Smith, man. Man, no words really needed, but I'm gonna say some words anyway. One of the biggest movie stars ever, if not the biggest American movie star. No, Denzel. Shout out to Denzel. But one of the biggest movie stars ever. And you know, the lead role in the iconic sitcom, probably like one of the more iconic sitcoms ever as well, with the Fresh Prince. he started off being himself, and he ended up, just kind of branching out to different ranges of acting that have never been seen before. And, a very emotional guy, very passionate guy. And I think that really comes through in his craft and his art. And it shows, that grown men shouldn't be afraid to show their emotions. And, that bleeds over into his real life. You saw how he reacted with the August Alsina thing and, the Chris Rock thing. Like, he's really an emotional guy. Like, it's not just an act. And I think that what makes him so great as an artist and as a creative. He made Switch, years after his rapping days and stuff like that, a decade after his rapping days. It was kind of around the same time LL Cool J made another hit, years after, decades after his kind of rise and claim to fame in rap, when LL had Sprung and Will Smith had Switch, So those are one of the things I remember as a kid. Obviously, Pursuit of Happiness, him and Jaden, and giving Jaden and Willow the keys to you can be anything and you have creative freedom and you can be as weird as you want. I feel like Jaden Smith and Willow Smith are two of the more free thinking celebrities ever. And that's in large part thanks to their parents of Will and Jada Pickett Smith. And, I don't know. I really respect Will Smith. Tony Snow, he says that Will Smith is one of the guys that, inspired him to work so hard. And, y'all know how Tony is. He dropped 5 mixtapes in 5 months. He has one of the hardest working ethics in terms of independent artists out there. And he said Will Smith, Lil Wayne, and Kobe Bryant were the guys who really inspired him to do so. And it wasn't a joke because he kept saying it in different interviews and different things. And he was pointing out things that Will Smith said. I think one of the things for me and Will Smith's kind of motivational speaking life and stuff like that really sticks with me was he gave the analogy of a loose ball in a basketball game. A loose ball in a basketball game kind of bounces away, and one person might be like, okay, all right, we'll get him next possession. The other person might dive for the loose ball and try to save it on the floor to a teammate before it goes out of bounds. And over the course of the game, there might be 3 or 4 of these situations, and the game comes down to 8 points or less, 3 or 4 possessions or less. And the team that had the player who dove for the ball those 3-4 times, they're the ones who come out on top. And he was just pretty much saying in that, with that analogy, with that story, with that anecdote, was to literally give your all with every single little detail each and every single time, because it's the little things that separate those who are really good and those who are great. And, so I just appreciated that from Will Smith of instilling hard work beats talent, and, to care in your art and everything like that. And then for him to have the courage after, he was kind of like shunned in the acting and the mainstream light and stuff like that, how to go to return and look at music and stuff like that, because it was a true, genuine passion. I know a lot of people were critical of the album. I didn't just replay the album all the time and stuff like that. However, I'm all for, if you're in your 50s, if you unk age, everything like that, and you want to do what makes you happy and make the music that makes you happy and it's true to you, go ahead and do so. Now there's the fun part of that with Suave, where Suave wanted to sign with this label. He had the paperwork done and stuff, and then he went to sign, and they were like, "Oh no, we're gonna go with Will Smith," and he made the funny line about it. But I really appreciate Will Smith and just being free, and I wouldn't say he doesn't care what people think, because he obviously cares what people think, but like, I don't know, being vulnerable and using that passion and then turning it into, shape-shifting, generational kind of bridging art. I really appreciate that from Will Smith. And then the last person, man. I'm trying not to get emotional, bro. Donald Glover. Happy belated birthday to Donald Glover. Without Donald, bro, there is no me. There is a limit to me and what I think I could do and everything like that. When I was a kid, bro, I wanted to be in the MLB and in the NBA at the same time, bro. I wanted to kind of be the first to do that. And, like, as I got older, I was like, okay, I'm kind of gonna have to pick one, and I mean older, like 9 years old, because at 10 I decided I wanted to be an ESPN analyst. I wanted to, analyze sports and talk about sports for a living and stuff like that. But I get older, and I'm like, okay, I kind of have to zoom in a little bit on one more, and what do I like more? And I thought I liked basketball more, but I was better at baseball. So it was kind of like I'll just try to work to get better at basketball and things of that sort. Fast forward, I'm at my boy Charles' house. Shout out to my brother Charles, and I'm in 6th grade. I don't know if I'm spending the night or I'm just visiting his house, and my mom dropped me off, and his mom has to take me back. But we're in there, we're in his house, and we're watching YouTube. This is 2006, so YouTube is new. It just came out and stuff. And he showed me, he said, "You ever heard of Derek Comedy?" I said, "Nah." He said, "These dudes are hilarious." And he puts on the Derek Comedy skit, "Girls Are Not to Be Trusted." Girls Are Not to Be Trusted by Kevin. And man, it was the funniest thing ever. And the comedy was so like uncut and raw, bro. I was like, yo, how are they allowed to say this stuff? They were saying like F word and this and that. Like, and it, in 6th grade, we're used to like TVs and movies where it's like, what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a shock thing to me. Because this is not new. Like, this is not something that we know. What I'm saying? It's not something that we know. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Girls Are Not to Be Trusted right here. It's this video right here. And I was just like, what the heck? And then he showed me the spelling bee one. And the spelling bee one was even crazier. It was like 2 names that you can't even say those names today. But like back then, they were still kind of thing and everything. And I was just like, bro, we watched all of these Derek Comedy videos. And I was like, yo, what the heck? And of course, naturally, I gravitated towards the black guy in the trio because, he looked like us and he was black and stuff like that. And I thought he was really funny. So he's like, yeah, man, they're really funny, isn't that? I said, okay, cool. So, time goes on. A few years later, I didn't know he was writing for 30 Rock at the time and stuff, and won an Emmy with the 30 Rock writing team. But then I'm watching this new show on NBC that they're advertising and stuff, Community. And I think it came on like around the time of The Office or right before The Office or something like that. Like NBC had a power hour where it's like The Office, Parks and Rec, then The Office or something along those lines, right? And so I'm watching Community, and then I see him. I'm like, yo, that's the dude from YouTube. I was like, yo, the dude from YouTube made it. He's on TV. I was like so happy for him and stuff. And he was just as funny on Community as he was on YouTube. This time he wasn't cussing as much, and he's playing this different character. And I was like, yeah, this is my guy. But I just knew him as the dude from Derek Comedy, the dude from YouTube. And so time goes on, and I had another kid. His name was Aaron. What's Aaron's last name? I think Aaron's last name is Brooks. He's a white kid. I've known him since kindergarten and in grade school and stuff like that. Of course, I feel like we drifted apart, and like I have no clue what he's doing right now in life. I hope he's doing well. Aaron, if you're watching this, salute. But yeah. Aaron, he started singing the song in class. Donde? Quesca, le biblioteca, aramati bon, nandaranta, escoteca, moneca, le biblioteca, esera pera grande, pera manteca, pateca, montoya, patillo, bucket. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the heck is this? So, like in high school and grade school, when kids are singing a song and everybody's like singing along and laughing and stuff, you don't want to feel left out. You want to learn the song. So what did I do with YouTube now? Thanks to YouTube, I looked up La Biblioteca song from Community, and I learned the La Biblioteca song. And shouts out to Community and everything like that. But yeah, I learned the song. I used to watch it like every day after school. But I thought this was it. This was just a dude from YouTube and this and that. So, like going through, all the little rap videos and stuff like that on YouTube, you have a comment section where people build lists. Like the comment section was kind of like a forum for the internet, because this is all new. Like YouTube is still yet less than 5 years old at this point. And so, people just building up lists. in the conversations of blog rappers, blog era rappers, and stuff like that. And a lot of people keep mentioning this name, Childish Gambino. There'll be like Currency, Wiz Khalifa, Drake, Childish Gambino, and I was like, okay, all right. So Childish Gambino is like another one of the rappers that a lot of people like and talk about and stuff like that. So fast forward now to 2012, the BET Hip Hop Awards. Okay, so there's ASAP Rocky, there's like Drika, Angel Hayes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think Kid Ink. I don't think it was Kid Ink. It was another rapper by the name of Kid. But they're all in the cypher, and in the background is this dude that looks like the dude from Community and looks like the dude from YouTube and all of that. So I'm like, is he just hosting? Is he just like, did he introduce the cypher or whatever? And he goes up and he starts rapping, and it says Childish Gambino on the lower third. Now, around the same time at the ESPYs one year, Will Ferrell jumped on stage and gave a speech on behalf of Tiger Woods because Tiger Woods wasn't at the show. So, so I'm thinking he's doing one of those for the BET Hip Hop Awards. So I'm laughing, and then he says something in the freestyle, and the crowd is laughing and stuff like that, where he says, Trader Joe's doesn't have the ship that I want, so I have them ship. So I have it shipped to me. Victory, history, more G than a kids movie, royalty, and like everybody's like, but they were laughing when he said the Trader Joe's doesn't. He on BET, but he got white people problems. Like Trader Joe's doesn't have the juice that I want, so I had to have it shipped to me. Victory, history, like you know what I'm saying. So like when I seen that, I was like, yo, maybe that is him. So I texted my friend Charles, shout out to Charles, and I'm like, yo. Like this dude, Childish Gambino, looks like the guy from YouTube and Community. And he says, yeah, his name's Donald Glover and he has a lot of money. I was like, yo, that's a shame, dude. So then I'll tell Maurice, shout out Maurice, Mo knows. And he's like, yeah, man, like he's got really good music. I'm surprised you haven't like given him a try and stuff like that. He's like, he's really good, listen to him. But like his music's pretty like raw, like it's really like vulgar. You wouldn't expect it, like because like I ain't gonna lie, I thought dude was kind of like on one side of the fence, and then I hear his music, I'm like, oh, he's definitely not that. He's definitely like into girls. And then so he told me the line about like NBC is not the only thing I'm coming on tonight. Girls, that's nasty. Yeah, that we the better ain't as man. A little bit of that. I'll mix it up with Lil Wayne. But anyways, but when he said that on Do You Like, I was like, yo, this dude's like. So anyways, I give his music a try. Immediately fall in love with it, bro. Like here, Camp changes my life, bro. I'm probably like, this is probably like 2012. Camp changes my life. Oh my goodness. Then I go back to Royalty because Royalty just came out a couple months prior because BET Hip Hop Awards is October, and then Royalty came out in July. So I'm hearing Royalty. I'm hearing all this stuff like it's new. And then, I'm driving my stepdad's car sometimes. So he has an aux cord. So I plug it up in the aux and I'm playing Royalty. And it's cold, like, because it's the winter time in Atlanta. I'll just never forget that winter, bro. Like, it's my first time driving around the city. I'm playing this Royalty mixtape. And it's crazy. It's hard. But the Camp just resonates so much with me. And I feel like my story coming up of like, what I'm saying, the typical too white for the black kids and too black for the white kind of saga and perspective. And I really felt seen for the first time in rap music. I know I brought up Kanye and T.I. and Stax, but they all still kind of like had a bit differences from me. You know what I'm saying? Like Stax was directly in the city and from the city for real. And and they were kind of wild, bro. Like Stax and Big Boy were wild, bro. But before they kind of like had, I feel like the safety net of being rich and affluent from music, and they could truly be themselves. Like when they were just coming up, robbing cars and everything, like they weren't, what I'm saying, just saints and just weird kids. They were like doing crazy stuff too as kids. Donald Glover was the first time where it was just like I'm an awkward black kid. People look at me as nerd. I'm outcasted. People count me out. I've come up and I worked hard, and now they all want to be my friend now. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna work hard so I could be like that. But then it was also like I could do more than one thing. And I remixed the first thing I recorded, it was just like a joke. No, it wasn't a joke, but I had this microphone and I found out that you could record on your laptop on a microphone through Audacity. So the first thing I tried to do, I wrote 2 bars and I just said it over and over. No, I wrote 2 lines, not 2 bars, 1 bar. And it was bumping through riding through K-Side, bumping Jordan Davis. I was like riding through K-Side, bumping music, Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis just passed. He was our former high school classmate. And if you don't know the story of Jordan Davis, he was a young black man, a teenager, so black boy actually, 17 years old, who moved down to Florida with his father recently. And he was with his friends. They were playing, I think, Little B. They were playing like Little B really loud. And no, he was a big Lil B fan, but they were blasting somebody else's music really loud. And a white man was like, turn it down. They got into an argument, and the white man, he kind of through the car door a few times, and he hit and ended unalive Jordan's life. And Jordan was only 17. And this was right after Trayvon Martin, the same year. You know, Trayvon Martin was like in, feels like February maybe. And Jordan was in November 2012. So I said, bumping music, leaving K-Side, Jordan Davis. All the people seen the venom, but they really hating. I was in the nation. I only rap one thing, that's a chicken. And I did it over Real Estate by Childish Gambino. And I just put like the instrumental of Real Estate, and then I put his verse in there to make it seem like I had a song with Childish Gambino. And that was the first thing that I ever recorded. And I don't know, man. He just showed me like there's no boundaries. There's no limits to what you can do and what you can be in life. And I think for the reason for me to be like even what I am within media of doing video, written articles, and you know, kind of serving as an editor, as a social media person, as a person who does it all, Swiss Army knife. Really, that mindset started with Donald. Acting. You know, I used to act and stuff like that a lot. And I like to get back in acting at some point. You know, I was watching some skits yesterday, but I like to get back in acting. But I was acting a lot in college during breaks, and I was making money being on sets of TV shows and movies and everything like that. And it was really good money. And then I was also making money from journalism for the first time in 2015. So I'm like, yo, I can make money off of like stuff that I actually like to do. I don't have to work these kind of random jobs that I don't like in the food industry and the service industry. And those jobs, you know, taught me like various serious skills and stuff like that. So like I appreciated that. But like I could do stuff for fun and get paid for it. So like one of those shows, one of the last shows I think I did, and my favorite obviously was Atlanta. I got booked for Atlanta. I think I'm 21 years old at this time. It might be it's 2016. This is before, a couple months before Waking My Love comes out. And we're on set for 15 and a half hours for one day for a majority of one episode. It's a club episode, season 1 of Atlanta, episode 7. They put Atlanta on Delta, but it was only the first 5 episodes. I was like, dang, I wish I would have got the episode 7. So, you know, we did it 15 and a half hours. I met Ayanna Lewis. I believe that's the model there. And I just knew Ayanna from, you know, social media. Yeah. Ayanna Lewis. I met Ayanna Lewis. So I sat down, we talked, and she was kind of like my set buddy or whatever for the whole day, because I thought we had mutual friends, but I mixed her up with another model. And then you know, it's just a really cool experience. You know, Paperboy dapped me up and stuff like that. Everybody was showing love. Everybody saying what's up. I had a suit on because they said we want elegant, upscale black people look that's between the ages of 20 and 25 or something like that, or 20 and 29, 20 and 30. So, you know, I'm 21 and they said elegant. So what I did, and they said no logos, man, I put on a suit. I had on the suit at the thing, bro. I had on the suit on set, and you know, Donald, he kind of like walked by me and stuff like that, and I'm like freaking out, bro. I'm like, where is Donald Glow? What the heck? You know, stuff like that. And it's kind of like this how I was like looking around the time. Shout out my brother Jared Oliver as well. And you know, so I had on a suit and stuff like that. And he goes, man, that's not what you're supposed to wear around here. And I was like, dang, he talking about me. I said, well, shoot, should have had wardrobe. Wardrobe should have came in and, you know, put me on something, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't. They let me go out in the suit. And then like my collar was kind of messed up later. Wardrobe fixed it. And they were like, nah, man, like that's realistic to have his collar messed up. It looked like he been drinking and stuff, had a long day, whatever. But it was cool. And then they called a rap. I try to be professional and like ignore him the whole time or like not bother him. And at the end of the shoot, I just shook his hand. I said, "Thank you, bro, for everything." And then he said, "Oh, thank you." He was drinking on set, but I like he still was kind of there. Like he knew what was going on. He was kind of coherent and stuff. And then I walked away, and because Hero was behind him looking at him, looking at me, like complimenting him, and he was just smiling. And if I knew that was Hero back then, I would have been like, "Hero, I used the sober music video for my intro to film class, and I like used it as a project." And the teacher was very impressed at how I broke down how many layers there were to a music video and stuff like that, as opposed to a movie scene that we were supposed to do. And so I walked away, and I turned around, and I said my last name, and it was so cringe, bro. But I was like, I'm the son of Donald Glover." And he goes, "Huh?" And then he goes, "Oh, okay." Oh, like he laughs like that. And I always kind of made it my mission to really prove to him, well, it's not my main mission. Like I do it for me, I do it for fun. However, like I wanted to, like, what I'm saying, get to a point where we kind of cross paths again, and I could be like, "Yo, I made I kept my word." Like, what I'm saying, I told you, like, I was your son and stuff like that. But Donald's work ethic is at another level, bro. Like he was sleeping 3 hours for like years, bro. And I think he sleeps more now with kids, as a father and stuff like that. He's taken feels like a step back, even though he kind of constantly works on this farm in Ohio, or whatever it's called, California, over there in the boonies and stuff, in a rich affluent area. It's kind of an hour and a half away from LA. But yeah, man, I say all of this to say, like, no matter how hard I'm working, I look at Donald and like always like, you can always work harder. You can always do more. And that's just the thing I've always taken on, bro. So this is the most inspirational person uh I've had in my life, what I'm saying? In terms of like celebrities, of course. Like shout out my father, bro, and my mom. But in terms of celebrities, like Donald Glover is hands down the most influential person. And so like I was rapping like him, I was acting like him, I was dressing like him, all of the things. And I always like kind of wanted to be like him, you know what I'm saying? And that's me being vulnerable and real. Like I know you can't say that. People be like laser, everything like that, but like I really appreciate bro. And he's doing his final show, he says, or his final festival show, or I don't know. And at Camp Flognaw in 2 months. And I really been thinking about going because, I just want to like see him off for real. I went to his last tour in Atlanta, and Atlanta was like the second to last show. I think he did Atlanta, then New Orleans, and then he called it off due to his sickness and stuff. And I hope he's doing better. And shout out to Steve and the whole Royalty Crew fam, the whole crew and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that I don't know. I just appreciate him so much. Deep Web Tour, one of the best nights of my life. This Is America Tour was great. It was a lot of like unreleased music and unfinished songs and two-year-old songs. Like he put together a whole set when he didn't really have music out, and he still sold out arenas. And I'm like, man, my boy done came up. And then State Farm, he did State Farm the last show. I was like, yo, and the people were like going crazy. But the kids that I was with the whole day, because I was on the floor and we showed up early, they didn't know like Childish Gambino, the old stuff, the rapping Gambino. Like they just knew this new post Awaken My Love Gambino, like of you feel like summertime. Like they knew that. And I'm like, bro, like this dude got some stuff. He can really rap. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I don't know, bro. Like I was like, I wanted royalty. I want Chance the Rapper out there. I wanted something for Atlanta. He didn't bring anybody out for Atlanta. That was crazy to me. I was like, dang, how you not bring out nobody for Atlanta, bro? But shout out to Donald regardless. Shout out to Stephen Ponce, man. Like I said, Steve G. Glover, and freaking Lucille Gotti, the most underrated duo in rap music right now. You know what I mean? Shout out Lucille Gotti. She just dropped that wash machine joint. That joint is hard. Hold on. Brother don't text me. What did he text me about? What did he text me about? But yeah. Shouts out to the whole royalty. Shouts out to the whole royalty, bro. And shouts out to Donald Glover. I appreciate you, bro. Everything that you just inspired within me and pushing Black kids to be different, to not be afraid to be different, and keep pushing past all of the everything, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really appreciate it, bro. Like, really appreciate it, dog. And I don't care. I'll give you your flowers while you smell them because I feel like you don't get them enough. And yeah, man, I appreciate Donald Glover. I'm saying the same thing over and over. So that's a sign that it's time to move on to the next scene. Okay. Ball Brothers, top 10 all time.
All right, Lonzo Jello, top 10 NBA players of all time.
Got Bron, Jordan, Cole, Shaq, Magic, KD, Kevin. Oh yeah. Before we get into that, download better and pick more. You get $10 when you sign up too. No deposit.
Yeah, these dudes.
7, we got I think we should throw Kareem in there.
AI, bro. Powerful pound.
8 AI. 9. We gotta throw Larry Bird in there out of respect. 10.
Barkley. No, I'm just like
10 might have to be. Might be controversial. Oh, we got to throw Steph.
Steph.
Yeah,
oh, Steph is way higher than 10, by the way.
I mean, this wasn't a number 2.
Yeah, no order.
That's a good 10.
This list for like something that is slanted towards modern players is not that bad, bro. It's not that bad. But AI is not top 10 for me. Salute the AI though. Y'all know my list. If y'all don't, I'll try to remember it right now. Jordan 1, Kareem 2, Wilt 3, Bill Russell 4, 5 is Kobe and Tim Duncan. 7 is LeBron. 8 is Kobe and Tim Duncan. 7 is LeBron. 8 is Larry Bird. 9 is Magic Johnson. Wait, hold on. See, this is off because I usually count Duncan and Kobe as one. So it's usually for me is Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell, Kobe and Duncan. 6 be LeBron. 7 would be Magic. No, 7 would be Bird. 8 would be Magic. 9 would be Shaq. And then 10 would be Hakeem Olajuwon. 11 would be Oscar Robinson. 12 would be Steph. 13 would be KD. And 15 would be Jokic. And then 14 could be anybody. Like it could be like Elgin Baylor. It could be, you know what I'm saying, anybody you really want to put in that 14. For real. But yeah. That's my top. That's my top 15. Okay. We're gonna keep it moving, keep it pushing. We got about 35 minutes for work. Kawhi Leonard, he wanted no parts. Oh, no. He wanted part ownership of the Lakers, similar to what Magic Johnson received, and he wanted unlimited access to a private plane, per the Athletic, quote unquote. Leonard didn't just want a max deal. He wanted unlimited access to a private plane, a house, and a guaranteed off-court earnings from endorsements, the Athletic previously reported. He also wanted a slice of the team itself, just like how the Lakers had given Magic Johnson 25 years older after HIV forced him into early retirement. Did he get that from the Clippers? I know he got the like allegedly illegal deal from Aspire and stuff like that with more money, but a whole thing is crazy, bro. Like being like, I want to own the Lakers, dog, is insane, bro. That must have been his uncle, dog. That must have been his uncle, bro. Wanted that more than ever. Playing for the team, this guy's career is over. He better not be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever. That had to be it. That had to have been his uncle, bro. I just thought he just wanted to go home. He wanted to go home and get the whole pie, bro. That's crazy. Dang, they deleted this. This was about the LeBron thing. That was saying, it might not be true, But apparently LeBron wanted a max. No, he wanted an extension this offseason, and the Lakers refused to give it to him. So he picked up the qualifying offer. But it was deleted, so I don't know if it's true. Is this still true? Well, they put this rumor to bed. It was fake. Oh, it was fake. It was fake. Dang. It was fake. Well, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, disregard, fake news. Shout out to Legion Hoops for deleting it. And then Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell's got some drama with I think these is the Filipino, like 36ers. The AD line 36ers have parted ways with Montrezl Harrell as the club prepares to open its Hungry Jacks NBL 26 campaign. Read more. And then so he said this. He was like, wait till you hear the real story. LOL. It's crazy how quick the switch goes. Shout out to Trez, friend of the channel. I want to know what happened. Every time I was in a gym, but it's okay. It's a part of my story. God knows. Tough. I would be scared to mess up my ankle. I swear every morning is something new on social media. Now y'all say I got 2 years. LOL. Since when? At this point, just trying to get home to feed my kids, reset my mental. That's all. Man, if I end up getting my own flight back home, boy, oh boy. What? He talking about getting his, he said tap in with Jason CD. He'll get the KD. He'll get the live interview. Shout out to Jason. Miss me with that fake love, man. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. Now stuff done got personal for me. I hope the homie come out and help y'all go all the way. Wow, that's all I can say right now. LOL. Dang, so they did them dirty, bro. Playing over playing overseas. It's crazy the impact he's made. Yeah, this is him over there in Australia. The NBL. Hey, Trez, my wife passed away in May of this year, and I just want to say thank you for bringing her some joy watching you play for the 36ers. Always took her mind off of the sea treatment. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, shout out to Montrezl Harrell, bro. You ever notice how people mistakes? Best video on the internet. What are you doing over here? I think that's just random. I've waited 2 years to play McQuitz, 4 years to play Brandon Scary, 1 month to play Nick Young. Gilbert Arenas coached him how to react, and now his energy different. Love gang. Have you challenged Trae Young? Man, 30-0 ATL. Y'all left everything in ATL before heading to Carolina, huh? How is he an Atlanta fan? He from Carolina. Man went down to Carolina and stunk it up, Atlanta Falcons. That's what happens when we don't have no dang wide receiver one, man. Not one of our receivers demand a double, man. Shaking my head. You don't think Drake London demand a double? I guess not. You ain't prove it yet, huh? That is what it is. But that is weird that he's an Atlanta fan. He from North Carolina, bro. But he in Atlanta all the time. Shout out. That's why he's a friend of the channel. AEBL legend, Montrezl Harrell. Next, we're going to keep it moving. We got 30 minutes left to 9 o'clock Central Time. Let's go. Hold on. Happy Friday. Yeah, Nacho, you're on T. Excuse me. Congratulations to the Phoenix Mercury from the Jonas Brothers on their big playoff win, Phoenix Arena. We'll see you on Monday, September 29th for an extra special night on the Greetings from Your Hometown tour. All tickets are still valid from the new date. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, and if needed, full refund information is available directly from Ticketmaster. So here's the situation. Jonas Brothers were scheduled to perform in Phoenix, I believe like Friday or something like that today, or tomorrow. But, the Phoenix Mercury had made a playoff push. They beat the defending champs in the first round, and we've now, kind of gotten to this point and things of that sort. So usually in the past with the WNBA for like the past 25, 26, 27 years, when there is a prior scheduled event, a big concert or something like that, due to that being a bigger deal than the general WNBA, they moved the WNBA playoff games to a local college, a different venue, a smaller venue. 9 times out of 10, it's a smaller venue. They place it on ESPN2 and put it on a back burner. I remember, I think even the Washington Mystics were playing like the WNBA finals. When they won the WNBA finals, they were playing like George Mason. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, their own, the Washington Wizards court and stuff like that, just because, that's just the way it was. Like Minnesota would play the Lynx in the middle of winning 4 championships, being a dynasty and being an iconic staple for the league. Kind of as it was establishing itself 15 years in and stuff. Maya Moore, shout out Sylvia Fowles, Simone Augustus, all of those players, right? Them jokers was playing WNBA finals games and playoff games at the University of Minnesota just because of, scheduling conflicts with the Target Center. This is the first time in the WNBA where a major concert, a large group, a big act like the Jonas Brothers have had to move on behalf of the WNBA. And I think that's a big sign of the growth of the league. This series is Phoenix and Minnesota. Nafisa Collier, Stud Buds, and AT, Satu Sabli, Ka Copper. You know what I'm saying? There's not Angel Reese. There's not Caitlin Clark. There's not Asia Wilson. These are just other superstars. These aren't even the New York Liberty. This isn't the Golden State Valkyries. This is genuine excitement for the league in general and the sport in general. And it shows the growth of the sport in general. This is a big deal. It's a big deal if you've been here. If you've been here, if you know, if you've seen the New York Liberty playing whatever the heck gym that was for when they played it. And now they're playing every game in Barclays and nobody can move them from Barclays, even if they wanted to. This stuff is a big deal, bro. The league has come so far and it's beautiful to see. Someone said, oh yeah, they was like good boys. She said good boys. But yeah. Shout out to the Jonas Brothers. And then apparently, I guess someone posted like, what about the Jonas Brothers going against the Phoenix Mercury? And they said Jonas Brothers height, Joe is 5'7", Nick is 5'6". I didn't know Nick was 5'6". Gosh, Lee. And Kevin was 5'9". Mercury, big 3. Satu is 6'4". Ka is 6'1". AT is 6'2". Dang, Ka Copper 6'1". Dang, bruh. Dang, they tall for real. Mercury, big 3 on Jonas Brothers head. That's funny. Kevin Jones is 5'9", really? In shoes, maybe. Oh, they saying they all. Oh, speaking of Stud Buzz, they have paused all operations until further notice. But yeah, it was funny the way they wrote it. We will be returning to stream upon further notice. Like what? but yeah, you get the point. Stud Buzz are very locked in for the playoffs. We will be returning. Until then, what they say? Teaspoon. Cheryl definitely didn't, but y'all can run with that. Cheryl made the Stud Buds locked in for the playoffs. She said they laugh and put all right. Oh yeah, when they said they unplugged the switch, that's funny. It ain't been the same since the 2 became baddie for a day. The 2 became baddie for a day. Leave her alone. That's funny. She smashed that computer with the hammer after last game. I'm crying. I'm happy to wait for either the Cancun or Celebration stream and then Miami. Oh yeah, Unrivaled. Cheryl said it's time to lock in for real. This is funny. Kim Kardashian was just talking about the Las Vegas Aces.
But if I were to,
she's like they won 19 games in a row. They won like 16 games in a row before losing, but like she was really close and she knew her stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Like I know North wants to play basketball. I'm not sure if she's still hooping and stuff like that, but shout out Northwest. She seems like a really cool kid. She's like one of the probably cooler, newer celebrity kids and stuff like that. Shout out Northwest. But like, can't really be following sports and everything like that. And stream. I don't know. Kim is like, I feel like she's becoming a more of a cooler person. Like she's aging into a cool person. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Kim Kardashian, dog. I'm like, I don't know. I'm realizing Kim Kardashian might actually be cool, like, and not just like someone like attractive and a socialite, but like actually a cool person. Another one tries to bite the dust. Shifting gears. Tua Tagovailoa has now said something about Cam Newton criticizing him. And I thought the choice of words were interesting. I haven't watched this clip yet. I just read the quote. This is my first time watching the actual clip.
Heard Cam Newton say it.
Well, anybody can play quarterback in this league then. I mean, I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but you know, I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way, or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback.
Heard Cam Newton.
It is so important to protect people's legacies and continue telling people's stories. The reason why I started off this stream 30 minutes talking about Trey Mills, Will Smith, T.I., and Donald Glover for like 20 of those minutes, 25 of those minutes, is because it's so important to say out loud what certain people mean and what impact they've had on the industry, to reason why the industry is the way it is right now. Cam Newton has now been disrespected. His legacy on the field, his playing career has now been disrespected, downplayed, thrown off to the side twice within the past couple of months. First with the whole Jalen Hurts versus Cam Newton hypothetical situation. Now with the Tua-Tagovailoa. Tua, you never went 15-1. You've never gone 15-2. You've never gone 14-3. You've never gone. Has he ever won 13 games? You might have won 13 games. That's the closest. You've never sniffed the AFC Championship, brother. Much less the Super Bowl. So what are we talking about right now? You were a big deal coming out of high school, yes. Nick Saban took care of the whole family, put y'all up in a gated community in Birmingham, made sure your brother was right, gave your brother a scholarship, everything like that. Correct. You went to Alabama, you sat behind Jalen Hurts, you had your moment, and you led a team to a national championship coming off the bench. Correct. And then you won the Heisman. Correct. And then you became a highly touted draft pick. Correct. You're not Cam Newton, buddy. Cam Newton was a high school phenom, a young childhood prodigy as a teenager. Went to the SEC, sat behind Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, things of that sort, right? Played with Aaron Hernandez, Percy Harvin, all these people, right? Becomes a part of an illegal computer selling scheme. The cops come to his dorm room. He throws the computer out the door, out the window from the second story, everything like that. They go into the bushes. They find it. He eventually enters it wasn't a transfer portal back then, goes to community college, gets it out the mud for a year in community college, does a legendary freestyle while getting ready for the game. Yeah, one of them. Leads them to undefeated, everything like that, win the championship. Okay, then what? Goes back to the SEC, now goes to Auburn. When's the last time you heard of Auburn? At that time, it was like Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown had a two-man tandem thing going on in like 2004, 2005. Other than that, you ain't heard about Auburn since Bo Jackson with football. Cam Newton goes over there, they become the number one team in the country. They go undefeated. He wins the Heisman. He single-handedly wills them to a national championship. Then he becomes the number one pick. Number one pick with Carolina. Carolina, a team that's been down for the past few years and stuff like that. He leads them to the point where they are unstoppable. All right. 15-1 unstoppable. Carolina Panthers ain't been worth a dang ever since Adam Vinatieri kicked that field goal last few seconds of the Super Bowl in 2004. They weren't worth a dang. It's the first time since Jake Delhomme that the Panthers were worth anything. Shout out to Steve Smith Sr., by the way, because, respect to him. He's one of the best receivers of his time. But the team wasn't worth anything. They didn't have a quarterback to get the ball to Steve Smith Sr. at the time. Cam Newton turned that team around from nothing to 15-1, bro. And you know what he did every first down? Here. And of course, here. He did it at the height of the dance, era in 2014, 2015. He had feature on the sidelines. He made the Carolina Panthers cool. He was a cool quarterback that could throw the ball. It was different than Michael Vick. Michael Vick could run, but Michael Vick wasn't always the most accurate guy. Cam Newton had an arm on him. He could throw. He was a little more accurate than Vick. And Vick's, fast prime and stuff like that. And he was big, the physical specimen. He was such a large human. It was difficult, darn near impossible to take him down with one player. They had to get multiple players to take him down. The beating that Cam Newton was taking as a quarterback was something that no other quarterback has received. If Tom Brady was getting touched the same way Cam Newton was being touched, half of the defenders in the NFL would have been kicked out the league. Cam Newton changed the game, bro. Cam Newton is one of the greatest of all time. I don't care if his prime in the NFL was only 5-6 years. You've never been an MVP, Tua. Ain't even been in a conversation past a week 6, Tua. What are we talking about right now, bro? Come on, man. Stop it. Stop the disrespect to Cam Newton, bro. Y'all gonna respect and acknowledge what like Cam Newton said, I've always been the guy. The thing about me, I've always been the guy, and I've always lived up to that expectation. Cam Newton was number one prospect, like I said, coming out of high school. Number one prospect coming out of college. Cam Newton was number one in the NFL. He was number one on all 3 levels, bro. And like everybody said, if you would have dove for that dang football against the Broncos, a whole lot of people might be talking about him a lot different. But it just is what it is, bro. Respect Cam Newton. Cam Newton, a legend. Cam, I'm always going to step for you, friend of the channel. Things of that sort. I hope you're doing well. I hope family's good. Shout out my boy Peggy as well, another friend of the channel. And we're going to keep this thing moving, man. Shout out Brandon Marshall, friend of the channel as well. Karen Attiah. Karen Attiah said, I've lawyered up. Lawyered up. Lawyered up. Lawyered up. Lawyered up. Lawyered up. Karen Attiah was fired from the Washington Post for quoting Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk passed away. Charlie Kirk said some things about Black women that they didn't have the brain power to be in high-ranking positions on the national level of politics that they were. I think namely it was like Michelle Obama, Ketanji Brown Jackson, someone else. Hold on, I'm gonna switch the camera back. Don't worry about it, little twin. Ketanji Brown Jackson. It was like Maxine Waters or something like that. And he like read a quote from one of the Black women that I just mentioned. And when he did that, they what did they do? He like read one of the mishaps they had, and they're speaking, and he starts laughing. He said, "They don't even know how to say it. Are you serious? You took the job from a white man, and you're not even good enough to be the." Like he was really clowning the Black woman, bro. And he made it contingent upon himself to specifically call out Black women for the sake. And so Karen Attiah just quoted that. She just put what he said, and she was fired from the Washington Post for that. So because of that, hold on, what the heck is this, bro? I'm trying to pull up this thing, and it's just like, am I being trolled right now? What is this? Confirm that you are human. I done did it 3 times. New York Times, what the heck is going on? All right, I ain't about to do this. I ain't about to do that, New York Times. Let me see if I can find another one with this story up. But she says she's lawyered up. So I guess that means they going to war in a court of law. Is this it? We got it. Here we go. Shout out to Benjamin Mullen, man. He wrote the story. Karen Attiah, a Washington Post opinion writer, was fired this month for a social media post about the dating of Charlie Kirk, has filed a grievance arguing that she should have been allowed to share her views on news events under company's labor agreement and social media policy. In addition to her grievance filed by the Post labor union last week, Ms. Attiah, 39, submitted a 4-page letter to the Post's head of human resources on Wednesday seeking to recover damages from her firing. In the letter, her lawyers said that she has, quote unquote, spoke truthfully and forcefully about matters of a vital public concern. The Washington Post did not immediately respond to a request for comment. According to the Post termination notice attached to Miss Attiah's letter, the newspaper fired Attiah for her post on social media app Blue Sky that violated the company's social media policies, saying that her quote unquote harmed the integrity of the organization. The organization's policies and standards say that the Post employees are expected to use social media responsibly and civilly and to treat people with respect. Ms. Attiah posted her views on political violence, racial standards in America, and the widespread availability of shortly after Mr. Kirk's death. In one post, she argued that, quote unquote, parts of what keeps America so violent and insistence is that people perform care, empty goodness, and absolution for white men who espouse hatred and violence. Miss Attiah's letter said the Post were, quote unquote, well-supported opinions within her purview as an opinion writer. She criticized online for misquoting Mr. Kirk's remarks about the brain processing power of several prominent Black women, including Michelle Obama and Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Her post incorrectly said that Kirk referred to all Black women. She corrected herself days later and after she was fired and replied to the original post. The Blue Sky post wasn't included in the Post termination letter. So there it is. There it is. When he was specifically, so the loophole was he was specifically talking about Michelle Obama and Ketanji Brown Jackson. And she said that he referred to Black women as not possessing the brain power, which he did say. That's what he said. If you bring up two people and they just happen to be of the same color and creed, and your argument is against DEI, then what else are you talking about? Talking about Black women, bro. Like what, you know what I'm saying? Like people being purposely dense to miss a thing or whatever. But hope the best for Karen Attiah in this pursuit. We'll see what happens, man. Roots exhibit.
Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of Black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books. And now I belong to a church that's primarily African American. And I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I got one at the beginning again. Hold on.
Welcome to America.
Oh my goodness, bro. Yo. Oh my goodness, dude. All right, bro. It was no comment, bro. The water makes me appreciate life. Thoughts?
That is Kentucky. This is Ohio. That water right there is what separated a slave state from a free state. So I come down here on this water all the time. You know why? Because I can't count, and you couldn't, nor could history ever account for how many of us have died just to try to get from that side of the river right there to this side right here. For hundreds of years, that was the difference between an enslaved Black man and a free Black man, was this gap right here. This water got a lot of stories to tell. There's a lot of souls in there.
That's powerful stuff. I ain't gonna hold you. That's powerful stuff. Salute to bro. Yeah, I don't know. It shows you, I guess, like the fragility of existing as Black Americans and stuff like that, man. So salute to bro for pointing that out and stuff. And shout out to Ohio. Shout out to Speed. Yeah. I think Speed was the first that I shout out Speed because his stream when he went to Ohio, that was the first time I realized that Ohio and Kentucky were that close, because he went to like KFC in Kentucky during his stream, like his homecoming to Cincinnati and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know they were that close. Metro Boomin has been found not guilty. Metro Boomin verdict. Jury clears star producer in essay trial. The courtroom win came after Metro told jurors that there was no way in the world that you would have the lady, Vanessa Maestre, after a recording session. This is written by Bill Donahue of Billboard. Metro Boomin has, oh, okay, well, I guess I cannot read the full story. He won the verdict, clearing him of any wrongdoing in the civil lawsuit from a woman who claimed that she was SA'd and impregnated her in 2016. So, but I do have Metro Boomin's statement that he posted. And here it is. With love, Leland Wayne. I'm grateful and thankful to God that I can finally put all this nonsense behind me, said Mr. Wayne in a statement following the verdict. Based off of how I treat others and represent myself, never in a million years would I thought I would have been accused of such a disgusting and heinous act. Today, I took victory in court, but in reality, there's a long list of losses I stacked up this year in the long process of clearing my name and reputation. The very large amount of money and time wasted based off of someone else's greed, coupled with the incalculable amount of money and opportunities that did not make it to me or my team during this time. Metro Boomin is more than a stage name or a family-friendly brand, but a superhero in the eyes of many children and adults around the world. I'm sure I don't have to put into any more words on how devastating these false claims must have been to many. Lastly, the trauma my family and I have endured during this dark period can never be forgiven. I legally adopted my youngest brother and sister, and I'm active in their lives and at their schools. So just imagine what they could have gone through at a time where almost any kid at the age of 9 and up have access to a smartphone or tablet. I'm disappointed in not only the plaintiff, but the janky lawyers who made the conscious decision to take on the suit, even though it was evident long ago that these claims had no legs or merit and would not end up going anywhere. I would like to thank my attorneys, Lawrence Hinkle, Justin H. Sanders, and Bobby D. Daniels and Sandra Roberts, along with the judge and jury, for the time of seeking the truth and justice within all of this nonsense. Peace and love to all the actual victims who are out there, as well as the innocent and accused. Yeah, man. Shout out to I'm so dumb I never would have made his name. I was like, who is Drake talking about? Can you at least sue them for lawyer fees? Yeah, shout out to Metro Boomin being cleared of this. Is always, terrible when a man or woman are accused of these things, falsely accused of these things. These things can ruin your reputations, as he said, and you lose a lot of money, opportunities, but more importantly, like your reputation takes a hit. And your word and your name is like the most important thing you have on this earth, and especially in the industry, like the entertainment industry, because you're working with people and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to say that, like, salute to Metro Boomin for winning the suit. I ran into Metro Boomin once, bro. I was headed back to LA from LA to Atlanta. I was first class, on behalf of like this company flew me out. It was like a little kind of brand trip or whatever. And so I was like, oh snap, I feel like the man. I'm in first class going back from LA to Atlanta. Metro Boomin sitting behind me. So like the plane lands and we all standing up waiting to get off. And I'm trying to get Metro attention, like, yo, what's up, Metro? Like, yo, what's up? He ignoring me, boy. But as soon as that door opened, boy, he was gone. He went home, man, whatever, and stuff like that. But shout out Metro Boomin. I'm sure he was just early. He probably ain't sleep because it was an early flight. It was like a 5 a.m. flight or whatever, LA time. So yeah. Next. YouTube has banned Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes less than 12 hours after they created their channels. Now, I don't know this story. I do know that it was like a report that came out that admitted that Joe Biden put pressure on YouTube to ban conservative and right wingers channels and stuff like that for kind of spewing, I guess, what he viewed as dangerous propaganda and narratives and things of that sort. So once that report came out, I guess they were like, okay, Trump's in office now, we should be good. And YouTube was like, no, stay your behind on Rumble and kick. I want to see this. I want to see YouTube put out a statement about this. Shout out to YouTube. Obviously, I work with YouTube and things of that sort. They pay me and stuff. So shout out YouTube. And I'm part of the YouTube communities and everything like that. We've seen some previously terminated creators try to start new channels. To clarify, our pilot program on terminations is not open yet. It is still against community guidelines for previously terminated users to use, possess, or create other channels, and will be terminating new channels from previously terminated users in accordance to these guidelines. We'll have more to share on the limited pilot program soon. So there's that. It's like what you call. It's like who was it? EDP 44. Like when he created new channels, they would like ban them immediately and stuff like that. Like he kept creating new channels, but they kept banning them. So there was that. Next, Michelle on Beyonce's Mindset.
I will never forget hearing her say, if I had a dream about it, that means it can happen. She's literally like, if I dreamed it, I want to see my dream.
I want to see my dream in reality. So if you ever work for her and she says, I had a dream about it, just go ahead and Google call customer service, whoever you got to call, whatever, to get what she needs, what she's saying. Just don't even tell her it can't be done. She always believes it can be done. She believes it can be done, and it can. And a lot of people will tell you it can't be done, maybe because they're lazy or maybe because they're not thinking as big as you are. Think big, or it can be done. And there it is. Shout out to Earl Sweatshirt. Cause I didn't think big. Cause I didn't think big. I released it. Shout out, man. That album grew on me, boy. That joint. For my sweet child. Struggle is a team sport. All right. So this video is 3 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, because that's going to cross over into 9 a.m., I'm going to get everything set up and make sure I'm good. So I'm going to take a little break here, all right? I'm going to take a little intermission, probably about 60-second intermission. Get this thing ready because it is about to be 9 o'clock. But I'm working from the crib today, man. It's Friday. I'm about to head into this, weekend, stuff like that. Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to go off camera and mute. Hey, I didn't even know people was in the chat. What happening, chat? Big Nay in the building. Knox in the building. What's happening, folk? Good to see y'all young boys, man. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Course, I'm gonna be now. For my sweet child. All right, bet. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Hold on. Let me say hello. Hello. All right, bet. And then I probably got to get going in like 20. So we got about 20 to finish this live. Or I could just take another break and then finish it after. All right. I'm back. You guys probably read this by now, this caption. But this was a former Miss Universe Jamaican contestant, Tanya Spalding. She was found unalive from the curtains after reportedly, unaliving herself. She recently talked about struggling to continue to hear voices. And with that being said, this is the clip that she released.
My life over here.
Fresh
I feel
drop.
like I need to go out and do something because my mind is trying to kill me. And if I do nothing, I'm going to die, guys. Every day I get up, my mind tells me to go and jump off a building. It tells me to go and overdose on pills. It tells me to go and hang myself. I am fighting for my life.
I want to say this right now. Mental health is real, bro, for everybody. Mental health is real for everybody. I know it's not just for men. It's not just for women or outcasts or people who feel like they're not accepted by society. Mental health comes in all shapes and forms. It comes with pretty people. It comes with unpopular people. It comes with popular people. It comes with icons. It comes with celebrities. It comes with CEOs and people in high places of power. It comes from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that you check in on everybody. The strong friend, the person who's always smiling, the person who seems like they are okay and everything's good, and the most optimistic person that you know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It's just a real thing for sure.
Where do these thoughts come from? I don't know. I have no idea. They're my own thoughts, but do I want to be having them? No. Do I want to die? I mean, it would be easier, than having to deal with the ups and downs of life. But boy, I don't know. All I know is right now I'm fighting for my life. Why do we do it? Why? Is it the devil possessing us? I don't know. Like, what is this? Something keeps telling me that, life would just be easier. If I wasn't here, like, I keep thinking, oh, if I don't, it's either I die now or die later when I'm old and gray. And then I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, but I'm thinking about my biological clock. How less attractive I'm going to get as I get older. Like, how am I going to build a sustainable future when I'm struggling to work this 9-to-5 job? Like, can I manage entrepreneurship? Do I even know the first thing about entrepreneurship? Because if not a 9-to-5, then what? What will I do? Like, what the hell?
Fresh drop.
I think I'm in a spiral right now. Perhaps after I'm gone.
I want to say this, man. When she said that, she was talking about like being less attractive as she got older. Like she said, she's gonna go anyway. These are a lot of kind of like thoughts of like nihilism, existentialism. Like these were thoughts and kind of periods that I personally have have kind of dealt with in the past or whatever, or like exploring of just like what is the point if like we all got to go at some point. You know what I'm saying? So if you are dealing with those thoughts, I think the point is to just not worry about the ending, but worry about enjoying the experience in the meantime, making the most of the experience in the meantime. It's like, okay, yes, it's going to end, but however, shoot, while I'm here and while it's going on, why not just make the most of it? And what I'm saying, whatever the most of it might look like, and have fun and make it a purpose-filled life. We're here for a reason, right? Like, okay, we're here for 100 years of that, if we're lucky, and kind of then the next generation 100 years, and kind of the cycle just continues for eternity and until the rapture or whatever. See how I did that. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if you should get so caught up in trying to ask why. When you ask why, you're eventually going to get to the answer of nothing matters and there's no point of anything. And I don't know if that's just a beneficial thought to have. Like, I think there's beauty and safety in not knowing and not wanting to know, like keeping things on the surface level, because when you get too deep, I feel like there's no turning back a lot of times. and you know, like you search too deep and you're like, dang, like you become hopeless, everything becomes pointless, and like your pursuits become aimless. And you also hear some of the things that she's talking about. Like she's like, when I get older, a lot of my beauty is going to start to fade. You know, people start looking at you know, so you see the things that she values and what she's saying. Like she values her beauty. You know, being a pageant girl. Pageantry can be so dangerous to the mind and mental health because, you know, it's literally based on physical appearance first, and then you know, like they try to mask it up as no, it's about your answers and your community service and your so and so. If you're ugly, you're not gonna win a pageant, bro. You're not gonna win a major pageant. Like that's just is what it is. If you're fat, if you're out of shape, you're not gonna win a pageant, bro. Like if you're a little husky, if you're like, you know what I'm saying, I guess not skin and bones, right? And you win. It becomes a headline of like plus size woman wins. And the plus size person ain't even plus size. That ain't plus size. Plus size is like what you see in Walmart with the little carts. That's plus size. This ain't no plus size. You know what I mean? No, bro. Why would you, man? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with this order right now as well. And the person is like, bro. Why would you even do that? Like, okay, Instacart, right? I'm gonna let y'all in on what's going on. Instacart. I'm ordering some groceries today. This dude, I say non-dairy mac and cheese. He looked to replace it with the regular Kraft mac and cheese. Bro, no. There's a reason why I said non-dairy. Like, what the heck? Like, but thankfully, Instacart asks you if you want to refund the items. Anyways, back to this. You know, she put a lot of her what you call her value in her beauty, because I think that's the way that pageantry and that type of lifestyle kind of conditions the mind to think. Like it's like the competitive nature, this you know, it says looks and everything like that are subjective, but it kind of makes a subjective thing put numbers on it and put your worth to it. Like naturally, just as a human competing in pageantry, you're going to kind of equate your value, I feel like, to your beauty. And I think I don't know. I feel like pageantry is a toxic thing, a toxic type of community. However, it's like, shoot, it gives people something to compete in. If that's what you're into, if you know, if you like competing in this, if you like striving to something and challenging yourself to present the best version of yourself to a board of judges, then so be it. Because some people do that with band, right? Like in marching band competitions, like you work hard to do the subjective thing. Like, did it sound better than this band? Like all of that stuff is, you know what I mean? Like that stuff is subjective, but shoot, the Grammys, judging music, all of that stuff. But people want to do it. Let people do it. Give them something to fight for. If it's not something that you could just beat them like directly in sports, you know what I'm saying, going head to head, then, you know, that's the thing. So, you know, as a competitive person and a sports person, I'm all for people who want to do competition for the sake of their fulfillment. However, like I do think the toxic nature of it always needs to be addressed and remembered in it, because that world can get dark, bro. Like, and it's crazy because on the front end, everybody's smiling and stuff like that, and you have to smile. Like you work really hard to win a pageant, and then you lose, and you want to cry, but like you can't show that you want to cry on stage, because it's also a part of like the whole thing of like, am I going to win in the future if I choose to re-enter this competition? Like it's crazy. It's a toxic thing. It's a toxic area, but you know, hey, it is what it is.
Perhaps after I'm gone and let my death starts announcing everywhere, people will, you know, stumble upon, or they will start to research who I am, and probably they'll find these videos and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you know, she was struggling and she was, you know, at least she was trying, like she was doing the whole YouTube thing. She tried to do OnlyFans as a last resort. Like, you know, she was trying. And then everybody would be like so sad because, oh, she's not here anymore. Oh.
No.
That's usually how it goes. Like, no one really pays attention or cares
When you're
until
here.
it's too late.
That is not all the way true. However, a lot of times that can be true. And I think the answer to that is never live for the approval or care of anybody else. Only live for your own approval and for your own care and for your own sake, because nobody else cares. At the end of the day, they kind of care to a certain point. If you ever been down and you vented to a friend, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here for you." You keep venting. Eventually, other person is gonna get tired of you venting about this one topic. They're gonna stop caring. That's why I say, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, who gonna save themselves? If it ain't the people that pushed you out of you and stuff like that, pushed you out of them and stuff like that, probably nobody else really cares, bro. To be honest. However, you still must live for yourself. Because if you ain't gonna do it for yourself, then what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do it for yourself, bro. Like, do it for yourself and do it for the greater good. Like, we're on earth for a purpose bigger than all of us. For some reason, we are here on earth for a purpose that is larger than all of us. We can't put the purpose of life into our own hands. We're not that's not we're, you know what I'm saying? We're not that powerful. Like, that's just not our job, bro. So you have to live for something larger than yourself, because the purpose of life is larger than ourselves. And you can't be living for other people. It's like the church, right? Like in church, you can't be, "Oh, I'm off the church," because church is, hypercritical and things like that. You can't think like that, bro, because church is just people and people are flawed. You hold people to a higher standard in church than you do in the club, because in the club you expect everybody to be bad. In church you expect everybody to be good and perfect, and it's in reality it's the same people. But you judge one group more than you judge the other because of expectation. Don't have no expectations for anybody else, bro. Like, you just got to live your life, dog.
And it's sad that that's the way things are, but I mean, what else is a person to do?
Man, she was beautiful. Side note, goodness gracious, but that's sad, dog. That's sad, man. That's sad, bro. Rest in peace to her. Prayers up. Mental health matters. And yeah, for sure. Okay, Valkyrie, she says she feels unsafe.
Cutie and I are
She's not going to TwitchCon because she feels unsafe. I believe this was it was Valkyrie, CT Cinderella, QT Cinderella, and Senna. They were the ones who went to the pier and had the man following them at the pier. So yeah.
not going to TwitchCon anymore. We did back out, but we are going to make it up for you guys because we did have an on-stage Wine About It in front of a live audience set. But I think we're going to do something else where maybe we do our first ever Wine About It episode live on stream together. So we'll figure something out. But I'm just really uncomfortable with the world right now. America is in a weird spot. Weird things are happening, and it's just I don't feel safe.
If she's talking about that situation, maybe I get it from the standpoint of if you are a public figure, you live a different life. Like, you have a lot of different eyes on you and you receive like crazy messages just naturally being like a public figure. Like, you have millions of followers. So like, of course you're going to have some crazy folks in that mix of the millions. Right. But to be, I think on a surface level, it's easy for me to say, you have nothing to worry about in terms of what happened to, to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was in the political space. You're in the entertainment space. You weren't spewing a particular, it's a tricky subject, but it just is what it is. You weren't spewing the type of things that Charlie Kirk to get the type of animosity and security and the whole nine that Charlie Kirk needed and that he had and what ultimately happened and stuff like that. You aren't putting yourself in danger's way that way. You're really just existing as you know what people will say, like an attractive woman in the entertainment space. So like, yes, you receive, you know, kind of crazy people in your messages telling you crazy things and stuff like that. But I don't know. But nobody knows. So maybe she has a point. Hey, there he is. He has a point.
I'm just uncomfortable, you know? So it's just, yeah, understandable. Yeah, I hope you're all being safe as well. It's crazy times. Like crazy things are happening. I open up, see the news, and then I'm like, holy moly, what is happening? But yeah, other than that,
the world always been crazy. I don't know. That's like one thing that I felt like I've always had to reiterate with this entire situation is tragedies have always happened. The world has always been crazy. Crazy things have always happened. It just is what it is, bro. Let me see something. Hold on. Should I? I'll keep waiting.
it's too much traveling.
Yeah. So I'll say that crazy stuff is always happening. Like, I don't know if people didn't pay attention to it because they're on social media mostly, and this was a guy that was prevalent on social media, but crazy stuff always happens. And that's not dismissing him either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me see. Stars, and there's a lot of stars. Yes, you can. Please and thank you. Up on those as well. Okay. All right. Cool. I might just need to put this on pause. But hold on. I'm gonna keep going. What is this? What's the next thing? He refunded it. Dang, they ain't have nothing, bro. Goshly. All right. Okay. Cool. All right.
There you go.
And just go.
Oh my, Dion, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie. Nigga, I'm about to unsub, nigga. I'm about to unsubscribe. I'm about to make sure he don't hear that shit. This shit get out of hand. Come on.
You know how much false narratives is on
I'm about to. This is how y'all feel? This is crazy. Disrespect is too high. I'm reading every chat from now on.
What is Venom saying?
It's in your shit pen. It's in your shit pen. They reading a different.
How many words rhyme with Savannah?
Okay.
Montana.
Okay.
Savannah.
Tell shut up.
Wham.
This nigga's flying.
Banana.
Nigga.
I just
right there. God, bro, that shit took forever. It ain't even worth it. They got me tight, bro. Yo, big 100. Shout out to Street Rock Life, bitch. Thank you, bro.
Shout out to Venom. All right, next. Total.
We kind of resemble each other.
Gentle, baby.
Come here.
Easy. Oh, good girl.
Keep that shit away from me.
Dino Twain.
Gentle,
You know what animal is this?
The dinosaur.
Bro, he's very crazy, bro.
Josh.
He's 20 years old.
Josh.
Niggas gonna go home. He gonna go home to Brazil like, bro, I see a dinosaur, bro.
Bro, I know that shit fake.
When you came to Taiwan, you didn't know mad shit. You didn't know the difference between mad shit, bro. But let him be, bro. He's an American now, bro.
But at that age, though, bro, the age of 20 years old. At that age, come on, bro. It's at the age, though. I see you 17 and shit. All right, bro. 20 years old. No, thought I be you.
W Kai for defending him. Gosh, man. Everything. They 20 years old, you 30 years old. You know. Like y'all tweaking. I know they playing around, but gosh, man, like this is exactly they acting like Joey got a limit. This is the biggest issue in the black community. You get laughed at for trying to be yourself if you lack nonchalant around day with a courage, that reaction. Yeah. No, do I think it's the biggest? No. They wear too much. Make their clothes are too. You eat too much meat. Shh, let people enjoy things. Facts. Let people enjoy things, bro. Cuff him. Yo. Ain't told her from the slums of Brazil that's messed up. Maybe Kai ain't bad. No, Kai definitely has some good parts to him for sure. Kai definitely has some good parts to him for sure, man. They say he's full of bullies. Friends be joking. I think there's a fine line between like joking, roasting, and like you know what I'm saying, like bullying. It's always a fine line between it. But yeah, all right. Let me see. Next thing. But yeah, this is what you expect from Rakai. He's 16. Reggie too old. Tylel too old, and Ray just trying to fit in and stuff. Tylel totally feel the energy, even if he doesn't understand them 100%. I'm in my 30s and I was hype. I saw some guys trying to stop the fun. WK, these guys lame. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 25. I would have been geeked. The internet makes losers famous. Dude's been living in the trenches of Brazil, and you hate him because he's finally living life and seeing the world. I hate that these guys are the example of young men are watching. These dudes are lame, corny. I see now why you had to call him gay. Weird and ugly. Like, why is gay an insult, bro? Like, it's kind of messed up, bro. It's messed up. Finally seeing how stupid these dudes are, life has been fulfilled. All right, they just hate. They're like, wait, I was waiting for your downfall. I love TJ going back at Tota. He was singing. Tota was singing. He said he's an op. He said an op. Lambo, when I see your little self, I'ma slap you. And what they gonna say? Bullying the streamer again, I guess. I don't know what part. Stop playing with you. I ain't understand. Dudes got real life problems and trauma due to circumstances you'll never understand. Think it's cool to insert yourself in this stuff for no reason. What makes me an op? Who you D-riding? How many over there feel like this? Do you know what you do to ops? LOL, bet. Ever the algorithm saying, Ray, I can't wait to see you gang and treat you like my skin complexion just to show you that this little ain't no discrimination. I can't wait to see you, buddy. You made your bed. Oh, that's crazy. He talking tough to Ray. Ray was just talking about the Playboy Messings. But TJ got a point, though. You can't just be talking about people.
Little TJ threatens Ray after Ray told Tota and Little TJ he was an op. So when I see that little nigga just slap the fuck out of y'all, what they gonna say? Do you know what we do to ops? Fuck what the algorithm say. I can't wait to see you, gang. Bro, come on, man. Really? Like what? Like really? Come on, bro.
But that's also a lesson to Ray. You just can't be saying stuff on the internet, bro. At the same time, you know what I mean?
Ray probably just seen that.
The Playboy Max joint.
Wait, Little DJ said about me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He talked about Kai. I ain't gonna lie, Ray sliding for his mans. Ray, Ray gotta. Hey, if you gonna step out, you gotta stand on it. I take back what I said. You gotta stand on it.
Going off ignition. He going based off what he see. You got a Brazilian nigga and you got a Taiwanese nigga, bro. Come on, bro.
Kai, that don't expunge him from what he say. It is what it is, bro. If they gotta, you know what I'm saying, handle it. I think with hands though, ain't no, you know what I'm saying, no weapons, like you say, with hands though.
Stop the violence, bro. Ain't nobody. Stop. That just stop, y'all.
Well, you got to tell your man, so you can't just be talking about people. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Don't threaten nobody, man. It's not right. This is not right, man. Little TJ threatens Ray after Ray told Tota and Little TJ he was an op.
Pauses. All right, next scene. Ben, he talked about Drake.
Yo, what's up with your man supposed to my hair like that, gang?
Oh, you talking about Drake?
Aubrey.
Oh, it's because he said it was slick because you were like throwing a little shade on a little music. You didn't want to take time to understand the artistry behind
Oh my
it.
God, man.
It just seemed like you were pulling, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
What's up, my guy?
Oh my!
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. You know why Drake fuck with me?
Why?
Cause I'm an honest nigga.
Yeah, but sometimes you take the honest thing and you be like, "Oh, I'm just being honest." When you don't.
Oh my! Do I be honest?
Damn, bro, Ben be like so real and like wise with everything in the world until it comes to Drake. Oh my gosh, bro. Then it come to Drake, he just just lose.
Put on
But I get it. If a dude took you around the world for the first time, you probably defend him to the, you know what I mean, ends as well.
To be heat, nigga.
And then you want to look at some artistry like, oh, this shit too. Oh, we get it. It's too deep.
Yo, nah, I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with Drake OD. I bump him every single day. But if I don't like something,
no. It's a difference between not liking some shit and then being like, oh fuck, this wasting my fucking time. This
did I say that? Did I say that?
You did.
Did I fucking say that?
Yes.
No, listen, you gotta know how it feels, man, right? So he's playing a good role, right? He's the first rapper to ever preview shit like
on a live stream.
On a stream. Yeah. It's like this, like a live stream.
For an hour and a half.
I'm not talking about like TV. I'm talking about like going to a streamer route. You feel me? Imagine waiting
an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
And then like a half a
First of all, when he dropped episode 1, it's all the way up here.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm expecting.
You gotta understand from an artistry perspective. You can't drop all your crazy shit right here, fool. That don't even make sense.
Then don't do it. Don't go live. What is you talking about? Don't go live then.
I thought it was confusing to hear. I don't know, but I ain't the artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like, what the fuck am I missing? Like, what did I miss? I ain't gonna sit here and be like, fuck this light skin ass nigga. I don't like this shit. This shit stupid as fuck.
He ain't say that. He ain't say that.
And you know you got a bunch of little kids like, yeah, fuck that. So
whatever, bro. Whatever, dude. Whatever, bro. And I had something else, but after this, I gotta go to go to work.
You guys can make me more dirty.
Are we being dead ass? This is a new level of low. Yeah, guys, if you sub up, you can make me more dirty in the shower. Like what, bro? When are we going to start having the conversation that these streamers are worse, or at least some of them are worse than course sellers? Because this is getting bad, and this is coming from somebody that does sell a mentorship. And realistically, we are actually giving people value for what they are paying for, giving people education, teaching them how to do the shit that we do on a daily basis that makes us money. This though, this is like burning money, bro.
Oh, hold on. Give me a sec. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, let me go spend some money to make Kai Cenat more dirty.
I think it's about that time that we have a conversation about streamers and begathons.
All right. I gotta go for a second. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm back. All right.
I'm not saying that streamers don't deserve money, for sure, by any means. If you want to, whatever, support a streamer because you fuck with them, you fuck with what they're doing, awesome. Dono, whatever, subs, this, that, whatever. Like, that's cool. But when it comes to the streamer themselves, like lightweight begging for subs or for donos, that's when it gets weird, because it's like these people that are donating and subbing to you aren't really getting anything in return, and you're just saying do it, like, yeah, make my pockets more full than they already are. It's like peer pressuring them.
Okay, to the second half of that, Kai, what Kai produced, like the entertainment he produced, I don't even know. But I could just look at it and just see that it costs probably millions of dollars, bro. Like yesterday, he had the shape game. You know, the game where the dudes are on the little sliding little thing, like the treadmill, and they have a shape, and they gotta fit through the shape. The day before that, he had American Ninja Warrior. Like, eventually, he's gonna have the X Games, a little half pipe with the skateboarding and stuff like that. That stuff costs money, bro. Like, he has a whole band. You know what I'm saying? He has the office drummer and Miles that he has to pay every single night to come on, stream and read out the subs and play and stuff like that. He's got an entire production team and a production room to pay. He's got an entire camera crew, audio crew, all of that. Like I said, production once again. And he's staying in a freaking mansion, you know, that's got everything in the world in it that he's paying for. You know, all this stuff just looks like it costs millions of dollars. So with that, like, he has to make the money back. and he probably has and is making money off of the subathon, the mafia-thon. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like 1 million subs is like I feel like personally an unnecessary goal. Like, there's literally just a personal goal to show myself, you know, to Kai, to show himself that it's possible to get to 1 million. Like, what if we got to 1 million subs in a month? Like, that would be crazy, right? And that's a high goal to set. I also think it does come across a bit tone deaf with the current like economic state of America. And, you know, a lot of Kai's fans are American. So it does kind of come off as tone deaf to be like, y'all donate money so we can reach this goal of 1 million subs, for myself to know that it's possible to get 1 million Twitch subscriptions in a month. Kai is at a point where like he doesn't need the 1 million subs. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need the money to do that stuff. You know, obviously, I think he does need to encourage people to donate and stuff like that because of the entertainment he's providing. Like, it's a lot of money that goes into the production and the crew, and he has to pay everybody and make money for himself at the same time. But like, it is kind of I don't know. I see both sides of it. It's like, for what? For entertainment purposes, you know what I'm saying? Like, who does this benefit outside of yourself? You know what I mean? I do think, you know, Tota has been benefited greatly from this. Ray, obviously, Tota, the whole Clover, everybody that's in the house, they benefited off of it from the exposure and kind of co-sign from Kai. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. It's like, you want people to donate $5-6 million worth of subscriptions on Twitch in the span of a month, so you can prove to yourself that you did it. You know, and I know 15% is going towards the school in Africa, in Nigeria, that he's been talking about building for the last couple of years. But it just seems like, bro, there's so many greater kind of things going on in the world than like kind of begging people to pay this much for entertainment when you think you're entertaining them like fully and stuff. And then a lot of fans not even happy with the entertainment this month. You know, I don't know. It's a lot with it. I just think that, I don't know. I think it's great to set a goal and to do everything. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, that's also fine. It doesn't have to be a thing of like, we have to get this, guys. We have to get this. Please help us get this and stuff like that. hold on. Let me see. Let me say thank you real quick. Thank you. You are the best. You're the best, bro. About to get to work in a second. But yeah. I see both sides of it. And I don't know. Me personally, I think the issue here was Kai saying the goal out loud and the goal being 1 million. Like, because now a majority of the free time is just focused on getting to 1 million subs, as opposed to just continuing to provide good content and entertainment for your viewers. So yeah, I don't know. I see both sides of it, for real. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. You guys take care of yourselves. Y'all have a good day and stuff like that. I got to get back to work, things of that sort. So I'm going to do that. Today's going to be an upload day. Once I get some time, it'll probably be in a couple hours. I get some time for the rest of the day. And it'll be uploads from we're 7 days behind on uploads. So it'll just be a bunch of old stuff, some new stuff, and everything in between. Please have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good night. Enjoy the basketball tonight. Basketball's back on TV tonight. And yeah, take care of yourself. So nobody else told you today, I care for you. Ironically, after saying that nobody cares for you early in the stream, but I do care for you to a certain extent, for sure. So understand that. Understand you're not alone. We are alone, but we aren't alone. We are alone, but we are all alone together. There it is. That's the way to describe it. That's the world. That's Earth. All right, I'm out of here, bro. I gotta work. It's 40 minutes in the way. I gotta go.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.